So now what I'm going to do, there's nothing, that's the main thing, that's the main stuff going on. There's not incredible shocks or things right now that you see the direction, you see where this driving is, you see where you're going to have to advise him or encourage him, and you're going to see if he's moving in that direction, or if he's moving, if he's doing things that's taking him away from that direction. You have to say, oh, how come, what are you doing this? It'll build up until, as we deal with that. I don't think he has much tolerance for working against the direction he wants to go. That's the Uranus square. I think he'd more break away. If he holds back, he's going to break away to go forward. The Uranus to the Mars and the Sun in his natal chart. But I wanted to take a look at the progress Sun. We're just going to back up, just take a look symbolically at the degree of his progress Sun, just to see where it is. It's at, this is 27, in 2007, it conjuncted his descendant and squared the midheaven. So the progress Sun was 2007, went over to the descendant, put the focus on relationships. The pressure from to the moon might have been pressure from family, whether he has a kid or not, what's going on. In 2010, his progress Sun went into Aries. So got out of the Pisces, went into the Aries. That takes it from the Jupiter rulership with the friends into, with Jupiter in the 11th house in Leo, the band, the friends, it put it into Aries, the Mars in the 5th house of doing things. It's in this, but it brings the Mars rulership in. The Sun is having to be active, having to do things. It's accentuating the Mars, and his soul is going through that to have to do that. Now, October 23rd, so there hasn't been any really, was trying Jupiter in 2011. It really hasn't hit any bad, difficult aspects, but it's just right now, it's gone into October 23rd, 2019, it went into 9 degrees Aries. With this program, that could be within a few days either way. It was just gone into this 0 into 9 degrees Aries. Then in 2024, which is after all the other stuff, he will have a square to Venus. There'll be some challenge around what he wants or what he doesn't want in or around his values in 2024. But that's after the decision of his Sun. That's after the Saturn conjunct his Sun. That's after all the factors we've had that just built up to 2023 as the big turning point. As it goes, there might be some confusion about money or resources. You might have to go and work, and maybe if his family's at home, you might be out working and be away and coming back. That could be a couple of years with that type of thing. But what I want to do is, I'm not going that far ahead. I want to just look at his hexagrams right now. It's just a symbol of what's going on right now. October, this is October 23rd till October 28th of next year. His progress Sun's in this 1 degree, in the 10th degree, the 9 to 10 degrees of Aries. Okay, so this is a blow up of it. The more this shows this is the stuff. This is the stuff that's done from my program that I'm hoping to get together. That you can. It's going to be. You can get the degree, so you'll be able to get the first hexagram easily. You can see the second hexagram from that, from the lists that you would have, and you get the line. But you'd have trouble getting the third one without using the I Ching printouts. Okay. But it has the pentagon. So this 1 year. Well, really, I'm just going to really look at this 2-month period. October 23rd to December 24th. Right now, it's in hexagram. The main thing, it's in Aries, hexagram 41, which is going to go on for. It's been in it for 3 years. It got 3 more years in that hexagram, but it's got a whole year in this one on line 4. But we're just looking at the first part of this, and the first part of that, it's still for the whole year. It will be the Tauran Pentagon. It'll still be a Taurian Pentagon. So Aries with Taurus Pentagon, Mars, Venus, Taurus Pentagon. It's in hexagram 5, and it's just in line 6 for this whole year. So this is all consistent things that are this hexagram, this line 41, line 4, 5, line 6, and they're both passive lines. You see, both receptive lines, and so it gives you an idea of what's happening to me. Then it'll go into a more active line around it. So this is facts type. So we're going to read that line, and then inside of this, you get it's in the hexagram 63, which is called after completion, the completing of things, and it goes through line 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 every 10 days. So we can glance at that as the weekly prediction or 10-day predictions going up till the solstice or up to Christmas. Okay, up to the 24th. So, okay, and this is just an extra piece. We got all the pieces. This is a symbolical insight that can come in on top of it. Now, pull up the. This is Aries, Aquarius. The first two are going to be in springtime. Pull up. Smaller. See the lines. So we're going to go to the Aries one first, 41 line. So Aries, 41, and 41 is here. It's in the hexagram called decrease. So it's an interesting puzzle. The image of it's in Aries. We see all the things they're trying to build up, but his son's going through this sense of decrease. And what the decrease is, it's the lake at the bottom of the mountain. That's the image, and the waters at the bottom of the mountain run off. They run away from the lake, from the mountain. They don't stay around it. So the mountain decreases its water as the lake flows off and makes rivers. So the image is he's sitting still in a place, but there's emotional movement. The emotions is taken away from the stillness. So how much happiness or how much contentment is moving away. So like it could imply that his emotions or his desires are starting to move away from staying put where he is. And his son being there, he's going to be feeling this distinctly. So you're getting some message around this to his son, for some puzzle he's going through. So when we read this, I mean, there's all technical side, what degrees of the zodiac, what degrees of the houses, the time of day, aspect, moon phase, it fits into every cycle, these hexagrams. So we're just using it for the zodiac. Above, the mountain above, the lake below. Restraint without, I'm holding it together, pleasure within. That could be the relationship. One wants to move the immovable, but in the end, we'll have to go around it. So you don't know exactly what that means or how that would be interpreted, but you're seeing a puzzle rather than running directly into things. He's got to work away, he's got to understand things, work through it. Spring floods, the lake challenges its limits. Water cannot climb the mountain, it will flood the valley. Great force is needed to reinforce dams and barriers. To impose restraints on joy is a losing battle. The wise one will exert influence at the source, find good outlets for happiness. A way must be made for the flow of joy. So the flow of joy, let's just say it's his talents or his satisfaction. He can't walk away from what he wants. If he has a commitment, if he has a relationship, there's a pressure, well, whoa, I can't walk away. How do I make the most of this? I can't walk away from what I like. You have to figure a way of using it. So there's part of an inner puzzle in this. Why his son's squaring the Uranus would be easy to think, well, I'm out of here, I'm just going to do my own thing and leave it. But I think he's got deeper commitments holding him where he is. Restraint without happiness within. Considerate initiative. There are natural limits to self-indulgence. Without restraint, there's no music, only noise. If one speaks inappropriately of others will be offended, and one's fortunes will decrease. If one's actions disturb the peace of others, one will be decreased. Decrease is inevitable. The question is whether one imposes decrease on oneself or other people impose it. Okay, so does he interpret the relationship or where he is as an increase or a decrease? This is the puzzle. If he sees it as a decrease, how? I mean, the lake flowing off from a mountain is not a bad thing. It helps all the land around it. It's not a bad thing. So it's like, how does he interpret it? How does that relate to his vision, his thing? This is something you can meditate on for ages, or for hours anyways. This is the main theme. And the line in this is a specific thing going on this year. It's the line 4. So line 3 years ago, it was good cheer overcomes inertia, one pushes on, and then energetic start will win the day. We go to 2 years ago, one pushes forward, one does not climb the mountain, one takes the line of least resistance, momentum accumulates. That was 2 years ago. Last year went into line 3. And line 3 was affected by the power of persuasion. One cannot resist. Hesitation will limit accomplishment and diminish respect. Oh, so that's the last year. Now this is the one that's coming up for the next year. We're looking at it next, but it really is for the whole next year, but we're specifically looking at this next 2 months. Unexpected changes. One is not strong enough to resist. Do not criticize or ridicule. Help those who are afraid. Well, that's an interesting unexpected changes. One's not strong enough to resist. There we go. Storm clouds. Obstructions persist. To use force would be folly. One must wait for the tension to ease. And third one does not get the response one expects. Excitement evokes resistance. A new approach is needed. If one listens before one speaks, or one simply listens, there will be good fortune. Well, that's good advice for Aquarian at the best of times. This is the theme right now, the listening. The changes are going, listen, hear it. Okay, so then that's the theme. The hexagram, so this one line, the unexpected changes. Don't criticize, don't resist, help those who are afraid. That theme will be elaborated on by the next hexagram, line 5. Hexagram 5, line 6, which is in Taurus. I'll forward you to it. Sorry. Hexagram 38. Okay. 10. 11. I don't remember all of that. 26. Last one then. Okay. Here we go. Waiting for nourishment is the image. So the theme inside of the other one, it says it listen to things that's waiting for nourishment, is the theme inside of this. This is the Taurus Pentan inside the Aries. Storm clouds and heaven above. Danger above, strength below. The use of force will increase difficulties. Be discriminating about what you do and when you do it. Wait for the right time. You will not have long to wait. Dark clouds in the sky, no rain. To embark now will invite danger, no satisfaction. Control your temper, smile in the face of adversity, nourishment will come. Wait for the rain. So if there's tension, there's things building up, there's changes going on, wait till they happen. Don't make them happen. Don't force them prematurely. Wait till they happen, then adjust. That's going to the first hexagram and saying, okay, discontent without creativity within. Progress is blocked. Well, outer progress, but if the creativity is going within, that's his strong suit. Too much freedom can be dangerous. One faces difficulties. To push forward will increase adversity. One cannot get what one wants right away. The voice of criticism will increase opposition. One's influence without will be delayed. One can use the time for self-improvement. In this way, one will be able to welcome the storms of life and benefit from them. Even flowers need rain. So that's the theme of what he's going through. That's the theme for, it's really for the whole year. And there's one line that's specifically for this. It's line 6, so we'll go down.